Please be seated. Good afternoon. It is a wonderful feeling to look out over the crowd gathered here today to honor our graduate students and to celebrate their individual and collective achievements. To all of the degree recipients, I offer my wholehearted congratulations. Many of you have juggled family responsibilities, full-time employment, volunteer work, and numerous other commitments while fulfilling your graduate degree requirements. You are to be commended for your perseverance. It is my pleasure to introduce Roberta Myers, a candidate for the degree Doctor of Nursing Practice, who will lead us in the invocation. Roberta is from Fostoria, Ohio. She already has 2 degrees from Otterbein, earning her Bachelor of Science in Nursing in 2006 and her Master of Science in Nursing in 2007. Roberta works full-time at Mercy Occupational Health Clinic in Tiffin, Ohio, as well as part-time at Mercy Tiffin Hospital's Emergency Department. Roberta, will you please come forward for the invocation?
Good afternoon, faculty, family, and friends, and congratulations to each and every one of my fellow graduates. I am a child of the 60s. The Rolling Stones told me I couldn't always get what I wanted. They were right. And the Beatles told me I would get by with a little help from my friends, and I have. The Byrds, that's B-Y-R-D-S for those of you who don't remember, sang a song entitled Turn, 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 my #1 all-time favorite. Little did I know all those years ago that the song was an adaptation of a Bible verse from Ecclesiastes chapter 3. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Will you all please join me in prayer? Gracious God of Abraham, Esther, Solomon, Deborah, Moses, and Ruth, please bless us in this time of celebration and joy. Help us to be grateful for what we have learned, for our community of learning, and also for the persons into which we will develop with your guidance. Thank you for this time to gather together in gladness and wonder, and thank you for the time of our lives. Amen.
It is my pleasure to introduce Jean Halpin, who will address the graduates today. Jean is the president of Ohio Health Med Central Hospitals. She has been a Central Ohio resident since 1976, completing her degree in occupational therapy from The Ohio State University and her Master's of Health Science from the University of Indianapolis. Jean has been with Ohio Health for the last 22 years in both clinical and administrative positions. Jean's colleagues appreciate and recognize her strengths as a leader. Jason Theodore, Vice President for Health Center Operations at Ohio Health, describes her this way. Jean has a unique ability to be very approachable yet demanding while managing the vision and purpose of her organization. Jean works with her team to get operational results today while talking past the current state of the business to communicate a compelling and inspired vision for the future. Jean played a leadership role in the development of outpatient division at Ohio Health, which includes the Westerville Medical Campus. She also was instrumental in the acquisition of the Med Central Health System, which includes 2 hospitals and 20 physician and outpatient locations in Richland County. In 2011, Jean was appointed by Governor Kasich for a second term on the Ohio Occupational Therapy, Physical Therapy, and Athletic Trainers Board. Jean is not only valued for her visionary leadership, she is respected as a mentor and teacher. Tiffany Estes, an Ohio Health employee and current Otterbein Allied Health graduate student, says Jean is a role model. Tiffany described Jean as a caring, motivated, honest, and inspiring leader and person. She gives me the confidence and the motivation to work to continue the legacy she has created. It is my honor to introduce you to Jean Halpin, your graduate commencement speaker.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the administration for the honor to give the commencement address. I'm very humbled and was very surprised to get the email and the request. And seeing all these wonderful smiling faces, I can guarantee you I'm going to keep it short. So one of the things I did this morning, even though you're sitting before us with either a doctorate degree or a master's degree, you've already committed to be a lifelong learner. And as a lifelong learner myself, I was at a continuing education meeting this morning. So I took a random sample. I felt very academic this morning. And so I randomly sampled 12 individuals. I'm happy to tell you 7 of the 12 had no idea who spoke at their commencement address. They remembered what they wore, they remembered where they were, they remembered the family, they remembered the celebration, but they did not remember who spoke. The ones that did remember, I can share with you. One remembered Les Wexner spoke at their address, Woody Hayes, and then the president at the time, so President Clinton. So I hope that you will take the next few minutes with me on this journey, and you may not remember me, but to remember a few things that I have to share. First of all, I'd like to start with saying congratulations to the faculty and staff. As you look around this room of graduates, you were so much a part of this journey with them. For the staff that made sure the building was on, the sidewalks were cleared, all those things that you need to do when you're a graduate student because you're going to class often at night, on Saturdays, off hours, and trying to run to your next thing that you need to do. To the faculty who are your mentors, to your faculty who are now your colleagues, this is an important time in your life as you will take the next step in the journey. To the family members who are sitting here in this audience, who sacrificed financially, who sacrificed to watch children, who sacrificed to give that support during that last hour when there was no paper in the printer. All those things that take the time and dedication to support their graduates. And to the graduates who are sitting here in front of me, this is your day. Soak it in, remember it, because it's only going to be a short time, but it's going to be a lifelong memory. So, I thought, how do I address this crowd so that you can really think about things? And I decided that I would take the journey as a person who's going to retire later this year, David Letterman. So I'm going to share with you my top 10 things of what you guys need to know now that you've completed your degrees. And I'm going to dedicate this speech in what I call from book smarts to street smarts. So bear with me for a second. So number 10, give a little rolling number. My first dedication I want to say is things happen with helping. And to Joan, I didn't realize you were going to survey some of my colleagues to get this address. But Jason Theodore was a very good colleague of mine for many years, and we were partners in crime, as we often called each other. And I titled this section, Things Happen with Helpin', for a reason. When I first decided to go down the leadership path, I can remember exactly the moment, I decided to run for student council, and I made my own poster board. Many of you in this room probably have never made a poster board before, but that's okay. We had to really make it with markers, no PowerPoint. So I remember my tagline was, things happen with helping. And I thought, if I ever run for office someday, that could be a good tagline. But I was only a junior in high school. So what that has set the foundation is, as you go from book smarts to street smarts, that's often what you're looked at. You need to do your follow-up. You need to make things happen. You need to be known on how you're going to get things done. And this academic journey has just taught you the critical analysis to get to the next stage. And this is a great opportunity as you launch into the next stage of your careers. How are you going to make things happen? Number 9, and I think this is the most crucial, and I'm sure you've experienced this over the last of your few years in your graduate experience, is learn from your mistakes. And the best part about learning from your mistakes is that you now need to mentor this. And so yesterday in my office, I had a young director who was kind of coming to me and saying, oh, I didn't do this right. I didn't lead the meeting right. I should have thought of this. I should have thought of that. And I said, time out. I said, you did exactly what you needed to do. I said, you listened to your colleagues, you're learning, you're writing it down, and the next time you do this, you're going to even be better. You can only study so much. Sometimes you just have to practice what you're preaching, and you're going to make mistakes, guaranteed. Try to just make little mistakes before a big mistake comes forward. Number 8, which is another one, is be a 360-degree leader. As you're learning how to be street smart, you got to get input from all different levels. Of course, you always want to please your boss. Of course, you always want to please the president. But you got to know what your peers think about you, and you have to know what your associates or your employees think about you. One of the greatest shows now is Undercover Boss, and the ability to go in and work in a company as a worker and be able to see what it's really like on the front lines and doing different jobs. And I had that opportunity for a couple months before I was named into being president of Med Central. I was starting to help them work on a big project, and you can totally see culture when you are sitting as an undercover boss versus when you're driving the culture. And so I started to learn what culture was of that organization, and I started to see some really great things and opportunities where we could align. So remember to always look at leadership, and then your job is 360 degrees, and how do I connect with each individual? Number 6, focus on relationships. It's a true adage that more business is probably done on the golf course than any other spot. And so it's the relationship piece. Women, you need to learn how to play golf, or to look at other opportunities. But focus on building those relationships. Who is key? That lunch meeting is key. Meeting in the evening for a dinner or having a happy hour. Things like that, so you see folks outside of the normal work environment. You have to know them as a person. How do you know who their significant partner is, their spouse, their children? Getting to know that individual, you will have lots better, deeper relationships than if they just look at that person as a worker in front of you. Number 5, which I think Jason alluded to a little bit in the intro, is focus and develop your team. One of the things that I've always looked at in my career of 22 years at Ohio Health is how do I make the team around me stronger? How do I help to develop and grow those individuals? How do I figure out what their passion is? What do they want to do? And how do I make it so that the day I leave, someone can take my job and my position? You always want to train the individual underneath you to be better than you are today. Give them the skills and let them fly. And that's what you've been experiencing for the last few weeks and months and years here, is that as you have taken this journey, you are now a strong individual. You've learned what your faculty has shared with you, and now you're ready to go and lead the world. Number 4, find mentors. Absolutely key. Goes back with that relationship piece, but you have to ask those crucial conversations. How can I be better? A lot of times people like to share the good things you're doing, and those are great opportunities. But to stretch yourself, you have to know where things are maybe not as well-oiled, or where you need to take those opportunities to be a stronger individual. Ask those crucial questions. When I have a meeting with one of my direct reports, I always say at the end of the meeting, how can I be a better boss to you? What things do you need from me? Is there anything else that I didn't do well in this situation? I let them rate our meetings that we have, because then I learn and I can help to tune to make it what they're wanting to experience. As I look in this audience, I can probably answer this question for you guys. Understand your why and your how. Why are many of you sitting in these seats on this ground floor? Look up around you. That is the why. Your family, your children, your friends, those that supported you. You did this not only for yourself, but through the support of them. And understand your how. How are you getting to the next step? You don't have to have a critical path. When I went into occupational therapy school, I never thought I was going to be the president of a hospital. But I took the opportunity to learn and to grow and to take on new challenges. And when opportunities presented, I said, I'll do it. Let me take that step. So figure out what you want to be at that next step. Doesn't have to be a title, but how do you want to constantly be challenged? Number 3, know when to take risks. I think that's one of the biggest things. We study again, we analyze data, we make graphs, we turn data around, we go round and round and round, and sometimes you just gotta do it. You know, you go back to Larry the Cable Guy, you just gotta do it and get her done. So as I look at that opportunity to take those risks, you gotta weigh the pros and cons, You go back to number 9, you're going to learn from your mistakes during that risk period. But by taking those risks, by not being 100% prepared, but to be ready, will allow you to continue to grow in your leadership journey. Number 2, and this is one I've had to humbly do many times, is take the higher road. You're going to be faced with situations that are often not going to be the way you want to see it. And I'll never forget several years ago, not too long ago, when we were building the Westerville Medical Campus Addition, and we had several neighbors that did not want that project to move forward, that we were picketed. I had to meet with the neighbors. I had to discuss what was going on. And what I understood is taking the higher road, I understood their passion. They needed to know why. They needed to hear explanation and guarantee from me how things were going to work and be okay. And so by taking that higher road, we have a good relationship today. If I'd taken a road or traveled often, unfortunately nowadays, it would have made it much more difficult. So always remember as you're doing things to take that higher road. And the number one thing that I'd like to share with you as we take on this next step is that I'm going to share a little story with you, and I call it Have You Pushed the Broom? So a couple years ago, I was honored to be the chairperson for Service Day through Leadership Westerville. And that's a great organization. I know Otterbein, many of you may have already participated in that, where on the first Saturday in May, you go to local seniors' homes and you help them with whatever tasks they need done. And a lot of times it was yard work or it was doing some minor fix-it repair. And a lot of times it was great conversation because folks just like to have the visitors. And so the one year that I was chairperson, I went out with my team after I gave my address to the group. And the name on the tag just said, spread mulch. Okay, well that sounds like a great thing. 4 of us went to go spread mulch. Well, we had to weed the gardens and mow the lawn and then spread the mulch. And it was raining. And when I came back, Christy Robbins, who's somewhere around here in the audience, she came back and she said, wow, she goes, I've never quite seen the chairperson get that dirty. And I said, yeah, sometimes you just got to push the broom. And I think that's the really key thing that happens as you are going from book smarts to street smarts. As you go into the work world, sometimes your associates seeing you push the broom will make all the difference in the world. Get them engaged in helping to make the decisions. Ask them for their input as you have to make change. Tell them that change is constant. Absolutely, the world is changing. It's different today and it'll be different tomorrow. But as you get people engaged in the process, then you get the buy-in, which helps you get results. So in honor of David Latterman, we finished the top 10 of things for you to remember on this day. I wish you the best of luck. I am very honored to be here, all these smiling faces, and now we'll get through the rest of the day so you can go enjoy your evening. Thank you very much.
I wasn't taking notes, but I was listening carefully. I don't have a pen up here, but that was... Anyway, Jean, it's very nice to have you with us today. We appreciate your remarks. Otterbein graduates really share your passion and your commitment to making stronger, better, and healthier communities, as well as learning those leadership skills. So thank you so much. You are a great role model. We value your leadership, your service, and your contributions. I have a small token of appreciation. We have a tradition at Otterbein of giving a blank journal to our guest speakers who come out from the outside world and give us great wisdom and great advice for going into the future. So I've given you a personal inscription that I hope you will treasure. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Very proud of you.
Okay, it's time. The names listed in the commencement program are of all of the students who have completed their degree requirements since July 2013. Of course, not all graduates are able to participate in today's ceremony. We will now proceed with the conferral of the degrees. Dr. Allison Prindle, Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, will present the candidates. Dr. Barbara Schaffner, Dean of the Graduate School and School of Professional Studies, will assist with the distribution of the diplomas.
Will the candidates please rise? Madam President, upon the recommendation of the faculty of Otterbein University, I present the candidates for degrees Doctor of Nursing Practice, Master of Science in Nursing, Master of Science in Allied Health, Master of Business Administration, Master of Arts in Teaching, and Master of Arts in Education.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, and under the laws of the state of Ohio and by the Board of Trustees of Otterbein University, I confer upon you the appropriate doctorate or master's degree. Congratulations. Candidates for the degree Doctor of Nursing Practice, please remain standing. Others may be seated until you are called to the stage. Dr. Patricia Keene, Chairwoman and Director of Graduate Studies in Nursing, will announce the candidates. She will be assisted by Dr. Marjorie Vaught, Director of the Doctor of Nursing Practice Program, and Dr. Allison Prindle.
Will the candidates for the Doctor of Nursing Practice please come forward to receive your diplomas? Opoku Adusi. Scarlett Project. Cultural competence education, impacting the knowledge of healthcare providers on hypertension management in the Ghana immigrant population in Central Ohio. Advisor, Dr. Margie Vaught. Susan J. Ferris Brown. Scarlett Project, Prevention, Recognition, and Treatment of Pediatric Obesity in the Ambulatory Care Setting. Advisor, Dr. Patricia Keene. Mary Lou Gary. Scarlett Project, the effectiveness of assessment and evaluation of the mild traumatic brain injured patient by the advanced practice nurse. Advisor, Dr. John Chovian. Brian E. Garrett. Scarlett Project, Assessment of Perceived Barriers to Practice, specifically prescriptive authority of certified registered nurse anesthetists in the state of Ohio. Advisor, Dr. Kay Ball. Catherine Elaine Hendricks. Scarlett Project, the impact of an advanced practice nurse e-coach on therapeutic lifestyle changes in patients with metabolic syndrome. Advisor, Dr. Joan Pryor McCann. Holly A. Heron. Dissertation. Scarlett Project, Paramedic Students' Perceived Self-Efficacy at Airway Management. Advisor, Dr. Elizabeth Siebert. Roberta Jo Myers. Scholarly project, attitudes and beliefs of registered nurses about the process of changing to an electronic health record in a community hospital, a mixed method investigation. Advisor, Dr. Ann Teskey.
Dr. Patricia Keene will now announce the candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing. Dr. Keene will be joined by Dr. Brian Garrett, just recently doctor, Dr. Alicia Rebar, Karen Hughes, and Dr. Ann Teskey, who will assist in the presentation of the diplomas.
Will the candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing degree please come forward to receive your diplomas? Ashley Ann Alexander. Joseph T. Boy. Terry Ann Hurd. Carla Therese Hill. Darcy Sherwood Kaplan. Megan Dorothy Kessler. Catherine Palermo. Ashley Elizabeth Sandman. Amina Muhammad Abdul. Josephine B. Ejapong. Christine Marie Booth. Christine Rebecca Caudill. Melissa Michelle Childress. Lisa D. Klein. Kelly Renee Kuda. Yvonne Vakuk Famenki. Andrea Lynn Fry. Jessica Danielle Cligora. Kimberly Lynn Glore. Kelly Jean Gore. Pamela Goins. Tamara K. Greggio. Deborah Sue Jackson Elway. Kendra Lee Johnson. Danielle Marie Jones. Stephanie Fawn Jordan. Esther Catherine Keene. Valerie Ray Lengel. Sarah Ann Linkart. Ashley Nicole Moyer. Martha Ann Minnick. Timothy M. Mosher. Melissa K. O'Hara Brown. Lisa Dawn Patterson. Danielle Marie Ferris. Renita Audrette Pickerel. Kristen Elaine Roshan. Jennifer Leah Rosso. Jessica A. Savage. Christina Teresa Seymour Harley. Jessica Nicole Smollenbarger. Grazia Ann Cerise. Jill Elizabeth Tucker. Eleanor Vogel. Jennifer Rebecca Whitlock. Thank you. Amanda Elizabeth Wilkins Butler. Jeffrey Stephen Blubaugh. Danielle Jeanette Copley. Shannon Nicole Crow. Nicole Michelle Lacchio. Elizabeth Ann Marin. Nathan Kim Matthews. Patrick Thomas Mail. Kevin Virgil McClellan. Angela Nicole Merriman. Bichetta Harlow. Courtney Nicole Ringel. Ilham A. Smitty. Margaret Jane Trevino. Elizabeth West Walborn. Sabrina Eileen Wong. Ashley Nicole Mills. Miranda Ann Gill. Christine Lynn Humphrey. Melissa Beth Seiler Anderson.
Dr. Joan Rocks, Chairwoman of the Department of Health and Sports Science, will announce the candidates for the Master of Science in Allied Health. She will be assisted by Dr. Shelley Payne, Director of the Allied Health Program. But before Dr. Rocks begins, I would like to recognize the significance of this moment, not only for these candidates and their families, but also for the Health and Sports Science Department, the graduate school, the university, and those who will benefit from the knowledge and care of these graduates. This group is the first class to receive Otterbein's Master of Science in Allied Health degree. A modeled community is a healthy one. Otterbein proudly anticipates the ways you will help take health services to new levels as clinical experts and innovative leaders. Your work will help design, implement, and evaluate new ways of delivering quality health care for all consumers. Congratulations, and thank you for the work you will continue to do to improve the common good. And now I invite Dr. Rocks to announce this historic group.
Will the candidates for the Master of Science in Allied Health degree please come forward to receive your diplomas? Tina Marie Glade. Romy George Graham. John Edward LaCourte. Amanda Ashley Samsel.
Now, Dr. Dennis Whalen, Acting Chairman of the Department of Business, Accounting, and Economics, will announce the candidates for the Master of Business Administration. He will be assisted by Eric Lloyd, Director of the MBA program.
Will the candidates for the Master of Business Administration degree please come forward to receive your diplomas? Ashton Marie Deering. Jonathan Fry. Terry A. Hammett. Kelly B. Eichen. Tarek Uwe Jark. Colleen Rose Leonard. Esmond Mogaka Onsamu. Griffin Douglas Pierce. Elena Westfall. And Christine Lynn Humphrey.
Dr. Susan Constable, Chairwoman of the Department of Education, will announce the candidates for the Master of Arts in Teaching and in Education. Dr. Kristen Renninger, Director of Graduate Programs for Education, will assist her.
Will the candidates for the Master of Arts in Teaching please come forward to receive your diplomas? Elizabeth K. Allen. Jillian Lee Bradley. Andrew James DeVere. Lydia Barrett Fleming Wiehausen. Valerie Leanne Miller. Alicia Tamara Owens. Ayana Najuma Scott. Amy K. Soga. Brian R. Stumpf. Will the candidates for the Master of Arts in Education please come forward to receive your diplomas? Rio Sherry Green. David Anthony Merrick. Elizabeth T. Ox. Emily Aaron Robeson. Alexandra Ann True.
There's a special moment in this ceremony. Graduates, at this time, I invite you to stand so that you can properly thank your families and friends for their support during your years at Otterbein. Go for it. And now, please join me in welcoming to the podium the chairman of the Otterbein University Board of Trustees, Mark Thresher, and graduate of the class of 1978.
Thank you, Kathy, and good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, to the graduates, let's offer our congratulations. To the faculty, the staff, the parents, the family and friends, the trustees offer our sincerest thanks for the guidance and support that you've brought each one of these men and women to this moment. I'd like to take a moment to highlight just a few examples that I think illustrate the level of dedication and commitment that you all graduates exhibit. Would Christine Lynn Humphrey please stand? Okay. So Christine has been a registered nurse in the pediatric intensive care unit at Nationwide Children's Hospital for the past 4 years. She received both her Master of Science in Nursing and her Master of Business Administration today. As a result, Christine received a promotion to become a clinical nurse educator specialist at Nationwide Children's Hospital, a position you'll start on Monday, I understand. So congratulations. Thank you very much. Would Rio Green please stand? There you go. Okay. So Rio credits the care she received from the faculty and staff of Otterbein, which allowed her to reach this epic moment in her life. However, we happen to know that Rio's journey has been supported by an entire community, I think the evidence of which, I think you have 15 family members and friends who made the trip from Cleveland to see her graduate today. So thank you for joining us today, all the family and friends, and congratulations, Rio. Finally, would Melissa Childress and Andrew DeVere stand, please? And any other graduates who've served in the military, please stand with them. You know, Otterbein is a community of individuals who lead purposeful lives and live for a common good. There is no finer example than those who have served our country in the military, so we really appreciate it and all the hard work. Congratulations. So members of the class of 2014, you are now part of a distinguished tradition, and I wish we had time to recount every one of your stories, but I think you're probably ready to get out of here and do something else. So you're joining the ranks of Otterbein's alumni, a community that's more than 23,000 strong leaders out there. But you know, today is about more than just celebrating your accomplishments. It's about acknowledging the possibilities that are before you. You will represent Otterbein in your professional life, your family life, your community, and throughout the world. We look forward to the many ways you'll carry on Otterbein's traditions and values in the future, and I'm sure you'll make us all proud. I look forward to congratulating you personally at the reception. Unfortunately, because of the weather, we're going to be inside where we started back in the practice facility rather than outside. And I would ask all of the family and friends, I heard the announcement before, that you please remain seated until the graduates have left the commencement area. Thank you very much. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Chairman Thresher. Graduates, as you leave Otterbein today, I want to remind you of a simple but important truth, one that has been expressed by many different voices in varying ways over the years. This is what I want you to remember. The world is starved for grace. The world needs what you have to offer. The world needs your commitment to serve and your compassion for your neighbors. The world needs your knowledge and your passion for your profession. The world needs minds that are hungry, hands that are ready to work and make change, a spirit that is strong and caring, and ideas that are innovative. As you leave Otterbein with the love and support of your family and friends, your Otterbein education, and your remarkable talents, remember, the world is starved for grace, and you are uniquely qualified to nourish that need with your words and your actions as professionals, as citizens, and as alumni of Otterbein University. To help note this day and your years at Otterbein, each graduate will be presented with a pen as a gift from the graduate school. Whether it is for a lesson plan or a note about a patient or a business strategy, we encourage you to use this pen and consider it as a reminder that we believe you are ready to leave a lasting and positive mark on your profession. The benediction will be offered by Ayanna Scott, a Master of Arts and Degree recipient. While Raleigh, North Carolina is Ayanna's hometown, she grew up in Westerville and spent 15 years working in social services. Her 16-year-old daughter encouraged her to become a teacher after Ayanna homeschooled her for a year. She says her Otterbein experience has given her a new family. Excuse me. Graduations make me weepy. Professors that care and classmates that walk alongside of each other every step of this journey. The benediction will be followed by the singing of the Otterbein love song led by Megan Ott. Megan will graduate tomorrow with a Bachelor of Arts in Music. Upon the conclusion of the love song, I declare the commencement ceremony in this, the 167th year of Otterbein University, officially concluded. Ayanna, will you please come forward for the benediction?
Thank you. Will you please stand? Graduates, today I ask God to empower each of us to live our very best lives, make our own choices, and by withholding judgment, give permission to others to do the same. Today I ask God to help us take the lessons from our grandparents, our parents, professors, and peers, and use them to empower ourselves to live the lives that we choose, that we know are best for our todays, and eventually best for our tomorrows. Today I ask God to help us create significant moments along our journey. Help us to see the importance of significant moments instead of just successful moments. To be intentional about our influence, our time, our contributions, and the legacies that we leave behind. Today I ask God to give us the eyes to see the best in ourselves and the best in each other. Today I ask God to remind us of our long hours, hard work, late nights, the tears, the sacrifices, the struggles, and the fear, not to show us what we lack, but to show us the strength, determination, and the perseverance He has instilled in all of us to make it here today. Today I ask God's blessing to follow you all as you find new journeys to travel. May you walk safely along the pathways of your dreams. May His gentle hand guide you, guide the decisions you will make, and the passions that you follow. May your hearts and lives always reflect His love and truth, and may hope be a light within you that you carry into each new day. May you hold each other close to your hearts. May you never forget what it took for you to stand here today. May you continue to be the best you that you can be. Amen.
Will you please join me in the singing of Otterbein's love song? The words to the love song can be found inside the front of your program. In a quiet, peaceful village, there is one we love so true. She ever gives a welcome to her friends, both old and new. She stands serene mid treetops green. She is our dear